Natural resources and sustainable development. Natural resources have always been central to human existence, shaping civilizations, economies, and the environment. From the fertile plains that nurtured ancient agriculture to the oil that fuels modern industries, the resources of our planet sustain life and enable growth. However, with rising populations, industrialization, and technological advancements, the pressure on these finite resources has grown, raising critical questions about sustainability. Sustainable development, which seeks to meet present needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own, offers a path forward in managing natural resources wisely. This chapter explores the intricate relationship between natural resources and sustainable development, and how a balance between use and preservation is essential for long-term prosperity. Types of natural resources. Natural resources can be broadly categorized into two groups: renewable and non-renewable. Renewable resources. These are resources that can replenish naturally over time, such as sunlight, wind, water, and biomass. Renewable resources are critical to sustainable development because, when managed wisely, they can provide a continuous supply of energy and materials without depleting the Earth's reserves. Non-renewable resources. Non-renewable resources, like fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas, minerals, and metals, exist in finite quantities. Once extracted and consumed, they cannot be replenished on a human timescale. The depletion of these resources raises significant challenges for sustainability, as it limits future availability and contributes to environmental degradation. The role of natural resources in economic development. Throughout history, natural resources have been a primary driver of economic growth. Countries rich in resources like oil, minerals, and fertile land have often experienced rapid industrialization and wealth accumulation. However, this relationship can be a double-edged sword. Resource dependency. Nations that heavily rely on natural resources for economic growth can become vulnerable to market fluctuations, resource depletion, and political instability. This is known as the resource curse, where countries with abundant resources sometimes experience slower economic growth due to poor governance, corruption, and conflicts over resource control. Resource efficiency. For long-term economic development, efficient use of natural resources is essential. Economies that invest in technologies to use resources more efficiently, reduce waste, and diversify energy sources are better positioned for sustainable growth. Environmental impacts of resource exploitation. While natural resources are vital for human development, their exploitation can have far-reaching environmental consequences. Unsustainable resource extraction often leads to deforestation, loss of biodiversity, water pollution, soil erosion, and greenhouse gas emissions. These environmental impacts not only degrade ecosystems but also threaten the livelihoods of millions of people, especially those dependent on natural ecosystems for food, water, and shelter. Climate change. Fossil fuel consumption is a major contributor to climate change, as it releases large amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Climate change, in turn, affects the availability and quality of natural resources, leading to unpredictable weather patterns, rising sea levels, and more frequent natural disasters. Biodiversity loss. The destruction of forests, wetlands, and other ecosystems to extract resources has led to a massive decline in biodiversity. Species extinction and habitat loss disrupt ecological balance and weaken the planet's ability to provide essential services such as clean air, water, and food. Principles of sustainable development. Sustainable development emphasizes the responsible management of natural resources to ensure that they remain available for future generations. Key principles include intergenerational equity. Sustainable development promotes fairness between present and future generations. It requires that current resource consumption does not compromise the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This principle advocates for minimizing environmental degradation and conserving critical ecosystems. Resource efficiency. Maximizing the efficiency of resource use is central to sustainable development. This involves reducing waste, improving production processes, and adopting renewable energy sources. Circular economy models, which prioritize recycling and reusing materials, are increasingly being embraced to enhance resource efficiency. Precautionary approach. The precautionary principle suggests that when the potential for environmental harm is uncertain but plausible, preventive action should be taken. This is particularly important in managing non-renewable resources, where irreversible damage could occur before the full impact is known. Integration of environmental, economic, and social dimensions. Sustainable development is multidimensional, requiring the integration of environmental, economic, and social factors in decision-making processes. Development policies must not only aim for economic growth but also for social inclusiveness and environmental protection. Sustainable resource management strategies to balance resource use with environmental conservation. Various sustainable management strategies can be employed. Renewable energy transition. Shifting from fossil fuels to renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and hydropower is crucial for reducing greenhouse gas emissions and mitigating climate change. Governments, businesses, and communities are increasingly investing in clean energy infrastructure to ensure energy security and sustainability. Conservation and restoration. Protecting ecosystems and biodiversity is essential for maintaining natural resource stocks. Conservation efforts, such as creating protected areas and implementing reforestation programs, help restore degraded ecosystems and safeguard biodiversity. Sustainable agriculture and forestry. Agriculture and forestry are among the largest consumers of natural resources, particularly land and water. Sustainable agricultural practices, such as organic farming, agroforestry, and precision agriculture, can reduce the environmental footprint while ensuring food security. Sustainable forestry practices, including selective logging and replanting, help maintain forest ecosystems while supporting livelihoods. Water resource management. Water is a critical resource for human survival, agriculture, and industry. Sustainable water management involves reducing water wastage, improving irrigation efficiency, and protecting freshwater ecosystems from pollution and over-extraction. Integrated Water Resource Management, IWRM, aims to balance the needs of various sectors while ensuring the long-term availability of water. Circular economy. A circular economy approach promotes the reuse, recycling, and regeneration of materials to minimize waste and resource extraction. This model contrasts with the traditional linear economy, which follows a take, make, dispose pattern. By keeping materials in use for as long as possible, the circular economy reduces environmental impacts and conserves natural resources. Global and local efforts in sustainable development. Sustainable development requires coordinated efforts at both global and local levels. International frameworks such as the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, provide a comprehensive blueprint for achieving sustainability by 2030. The SDGs address various aspects of natural resource management, including clean energy, Goal 7, climate action, Goal 13, and life on land and in water, Goals 14 and 15. At the local level, community-led initiatives play a vital role in resource management. Indigenous knowledge, for example, offers valuable insights into sustainable practices for land, water, and forest management. Grassroots movements, environmental NGOs, and local governments are critical actors in promoting sustainable resource use. The path to sustainable development is a shared responsibility. Managing natural resources wisely, balancing short-term needs with long-term goals, and addressing environmental impacts are key to ensuring the well-being of both present and future generations. By embracing sustainable practices, investing in innovation, and promoting international cooperation, we can build a world where economic growth and environmental stewardship go hand in hand. The future of our planet depends on the choices we make today.